30 Days of Violence, episode 28, and we're going to be looking at causing damage to the eye. And the most important thing, causing damage to the eye makes opponents reach for the hands that are causing that trauma. So if I'm gouging or clawing at this eye, hands that would otherwise be punching and stabbing me are pulling on this, are trying to pull that trauma away, because the human body understands the importance of vision and breathing. So anything that attacks the throat or the eyes tends to get an instinctive pull and pluck away reaction, which is what we're looking for here. Now, if we want to fulfill that damage to the eye, if we want to make sure, sometimes it's good just to know where the opponent's hands are to get a decent trade in with a shot. But if we want to cause some actual serious trauma to this eye, it's really important that we need to be closer than we'd otherwise imagine. So however you end up in this grapple or in this striking exchange, you've taken some shots, you've covered, you've got closer, put some type of barrier behind the opponent's head, because as soon as trauma goes to the eyes, humans will react like trying to bath an angry cat. They will buck, they will fight, they will twist, they will turn, they will pull away. Every fibre in their being will be pulling away from the trauma to the eye. So if you want to fulfill that, you want to make sure, and I recommend this ballistically, you want to make sure you've got something around the back of their head. Even if you have not got a great reach advantage, you can get a little bit of something. So you can get your fist in here, get your thumb here. If you're a little bit taller, you can wrap the entire arm around. If you're fortunate like me to have long limbs, you can even wrap it around in such a way that I can grab my own shirt or jacket. Yep. So whether it's this, or all the way to this is great. Okay. Now we want to cause damage to this eye. So this is the pull. This is holding him to us. We don't need to hold on to this for a billion years, because if you're not as strong as he is, eventually you'll lose. This just needs to be half a second. Ideally, put it on with a bit of venom. Bang! So he's got that slight concussion. Bang! And wrap this on. I won't close the loop for now so you can see, although I could. Then you are driving the tip, not the pad of the thumb, the tip of the thumb into that eye, like so. So you've hit, you've got some control here, and you're driving that thumb in. It's very important when you're attacking an eye to cover your own eyes, because a bit like when people start to elbow in a Thai boxing fight or knee in a Thai boxing fight, if I do a thing, he might instinctively do that same thing back. It's very, very common. So I want to make sure that my eyes are protected as I burst into this. So as I've got this and I'm going for that eye, I'm making sure that my eyes are down, my chin is down, and I've got something covering it like so. And it's about ballistically, it's about driving that in, not slowly pushing, ballistically doing it, because you might only have the strength for half a second to drive this in. Bang! With everything you can, and then you maintain that pressure. Once it's in and it's done its job and the trauma's been done, and you judge that trauma to be great, that's where there's no point continuing to re-gouge something that's been gouged. As soon as you cause some real damage here, that's when you need to decide, am I going to immediately eject off? So I'm going to keep this pressure here. I'm going to eject off and leg it. Whether I'm going to then trade this for something like this, something more concussive, something that can knock him out, or potentially you might move to the second eye. Once you've ballistically done that and you've got your eyes covered, you may then move, find the second, do it again. But again, it's very important. It's a shit or bust technique, but going all kind of clawing at range can be very, very difficult. And lots of people that find themselves beaten to death, strangled to death, their defensive attacks on the eyes are limp and weak. Really, you need to make sure that I've got something around the back of your head, even for a millisecond. I use the tip, not the pad. I drive it in, and then importantly, I judge from here what the exit plan is. Is it attack the second eye? Is it to push off and get gone? Or is it to strike, concuss, do other stuff, and then get gone? Those are all the options. But the principles are, you need a push and you need a pull, and it needs to be ballistic. It needs to have a bit of venom to it, because the eye is a sphincter muscle. It's very tight. It's like the muscle in your ass. It's a tight, strong muscle. So that's why driving this ballistically is very important, and knowing he will fight to survive with everything he's got. And that's why you need some degree of control around the back of the head, only for a millisecond, so you can fulfill this particular shot. And that's all there is to know about taking an eye.